The United States, a nation built on the promise of prosperity, faces a daunting challenge. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, a vital lifeline for millions, is under threat. Congress, grappling with soaring national debt, is considering significant cuts to the program. These cuts, if enacted, could have devastating consequences for the most vulnerable among us. The specter of hunger looms large, threatening to push millions deeper into poverty and hardship. SNAP, formerly known as food stamps, provides crucial assistance to low-income families struggling to put food on the table. In 2023, over 41 million Americans relied on SNAP benefits to supplement their grocery budgets. The program represents a crucial safety net, preventing widespread hunger and malnutrition. However, its future is uncertain as lawmakers debate its affordability amidst a growing national debt. The proposed cuts to SNAP benefits are not merely a political maneuver. They represent a fundamental question about the role of government and its responsibility to its citizens. Is it the duty of the state to ensure basic necessities like food security for its most vulnerable members? Or does fiscal prudence demand a more austere approach, even at the cost of human suffering? This is a debate that strikes at the heart of American values, forcing us to confront the choices we make as a society. The debate surrounding SNAP benefits highlights a fundamental tension in governance: the need to balance fiscal responsibility with social equity. On one hand, the national debt is a serious concern, demanding responsible management of public funds. On the other hand, cutting essential programs like SNAP could exacerbate poverty and hardship, creating a moral dilemma for policymakers. Proponents of SNAP cuts argue that the program has become too costly, placing an undue burden on taxpayers. They point to the rising number of SNAP recipients and the overall cost of the program as evidence of its unsustainability. They advocate for stricter eligibility requirements, reduced benefits, and increased work requirements for recipients, arguing that these measures would encourage self-sufficiency and reduce government spending. However, critics of these cuts argue that they are short-sighted and fail to consider the human cost of such austerity measures. They point out that SNAP is a crucial lifeline for millions of Americans, many of whom are children, seniors, or individuals with disabilities. Cutting benefits would not only increase hunger and hardship, but also have a ripple effect on the economy, reducing consumer spending and potentially leading to job losses. The debate over SNAP funding is not just about numbers. It is about the values we prioritize as a society. Do we prioritize fiscal responsibility, even at the cost of leaving our most vulnerable citizens hungry? Or do we recognize the moral imperative to ensure basic food security for all, even if it means increasing government spending? This is a question that demands careful consideration, weighing the economic realities against the ethical implications of our choices. For millions of Americans, SNAP benefits represent the difference between a full stomach and the gnawing pangs of hunger. These benefits, often modest in amount, enable families to purchase essential groceries, ensuring their children have enough to eat and their elderly parents receive proper nutrition. Cutting these benefits would have immediate and devastating consequences for those who rely on them. Imagine a single mother working 2 minimum wage jobs, struggling to make ends meet. SNAP benefits help her put food on the table for her children, ensuring they have the nourishment they need to grow and thrive. Now imagine those benefits slashed. Suddenly, she faces impossible choices: pay rent or buy groceries, skip meals herself so her children can eat. The stress and anxiety of food insecurity become a daily reality. The impact of SNAP cuts extends beyond individual families. Food banks and soup kitchens already stretched thin would face overwhelming demand as more people turn to them for assistance. Hospitals and healthcare providers would see a surge in patients suffering from malnutrition and related illnesses. The overall health and well-being of communities would deteriorate as hunger takes its toll on physical and mental health. The human cost of SNAP cuts cannot be measured in dollars and cents alone. It is measured in the faces of hungry children, the despair of struggling parents, and the erosion of hope in communities ravaged by poverty. It is a cost that we, as a nation, cannot afford to bear. Section 4. The domino effect, SNAP cuts, and the ripple effect on the economy. The economic implications of SNAP cuts extend far beyond the immediate impact on individual beneficiaries. The program plays a crucial role in supporting the overall economy, acting as a stabilizing force during economic downturns and contributing to local businesses and communities. SNAP benefits inject billions of dollars into the economy annually. Recipients spend these benefits at local grocery stores, farmers markets, and other food retailers. This spending supports jobs, boosts local economies, and helps to sustain the food supply chain. Cutting SNAP benefits would remove this crucial source of revenue, potentially leading to job losses and business closures. Furthermore, SNAP acts as an automatic economic stabilizer. During recessions, as unemployment rises and incomes fall, SNAP enrollment increases, providing a safety net for struggling families and injecting much-needed spending into the economy. This counter-cyclical effect helps to mitigate the severity of economic downturns and supports a faster recovery. Cutting SNAP benefits would weaken this stabilizing mechanism, potentially exacerbating future economic challenges. The economic impact of SNAP cuts is undeniable. It is not simply a matter of reducing government spending. It is about undermining a vital program that supports families, communities, and the overall economy. The consequences of such cuts would be felt across the nation, impacting not just the most vulnerable, but also the economic well-being of society as a whole. Section 5. A crossroads of choice, fiscal prudence versus social responsibility. The debate over SNAP benefits presents a stark choice for lawmakers and citizens alike. Do we prioritize fiscal prudence, even at the cost of increased hunger and hardship? Or do we acknowledge the moral imperative to ensure basic food security for all, even if it means increasing government spending? Fiscal responsibility is undoubtedly important. The national debt is a serious concern, demanding responsible management of public funds. However, cutting essential programs like SNAP, which serve as a lifeline for millions, is not a solution. It is a short-sighted approach that ignores the human cost of such austerity measures. Social responsibility demands that we care for the most vulnerable members of our society. Ensuring food security for all citizens is not simply a matter of charity. It is a fundamental obligation of a just and compassionate society. Cutting SNAP benefits would betray this obligation, leaving millions to struggle with hunger and pushing them further into poverty. The choice before us is not simple. It requires careful consideration, weighing the economic realities against the ethical implications of our decisions. We must find a way to balance fiscal prudence with social responsibility, ensuring that our nation's budget reflects our commitment to the well-being of all citizens. Section 6. The Path Forward, a call to action for lawmakers and citizens. The future of SNAP benefits hangs in the balance. Lawmakers must confront the difficult choices ahead, weighing the competing demands of fiscal responsibility and social equity. They must recognize that cutting SNAP benefits is not a solution, but a recipe for greater hardship and suffering. Instead of pursuing cuts, lawmakers should explore alternative solutions. They should consider measures to strengthen the program, ensuring that it effectively reaches those in need while minimizing waste and abuse. They should also address the root causes of poverty and food insecurity, investing in education, job training, and affordable housing. Citizens, too, have a role to play. We must make our voices heard, demanding that our elected officials prioritize the well-being of all Americans. We must advocate for policies that support struggling families and ensure that everyone has access to nutritious food. We must reject the false choice between fiscal prudence and social responsibility, recognizing that a just and compassionate society must find a way to uphold both. The path forward is clear. We must choose compassion over austerity, recognizing that a nation's strength lies not in its balance sheet, but in the well-being of its people. We must work together to build a society where everyone has enough to eat, where hunger is not a daily reality, and where all citizens can live with dignity and hope.